ACCA qualification, the future. Based on our extensive research and track record for innovation, our redesigned qualification will deliver unique advantages, including Strategic Business Leader, our new groundbreaking innovative case study, one of our pioneering strategic professional exams, featuring the real-world challenges future accountants will face. The syllabus for the Strategic Business Leader incorporates essential professional capabilities such as leadership, governance, strategy, risk, technology and data analytics, organizational control, finance and innovation and change management. It will also assess candidates on skills such as communication, commercial acumen, analysis, skepticism and evaluation. The exam will be introduced in September 2018 and consists of a single scenario innovative case study. Students will have 4 hours to complete the exam. They will be required to fully consider evidence, such as reports, emails, briefing notes, presentations and diagrams, and write up their own reports in response. The following is an example of a task taken from the Strategic Business Leader Specimen Exam, a real-world challenge facing a business professional. Railco is Beeland's public sector rail company. It's overseen by Governing Committee, the Railco Trust Board. The National Audit Authority, NAA, is Beeland's government's audit authority. They evaluate performance and value for money delivered by publicly funded organisations, including their senior executives and boards. Railco has received negative publicity and complaints because of its poor performance. Beeland's Minister for Transport has commissioned the NAA to undertake an urgent investigation into Railco and its board. Mei Lung, NAA Assistant Auditor. Alex Reid, NAA Senior Audit Officer.
Morning, May. Good weekend?
Good, thanks. And you?
Yeah, great, thank you. I wanted to meet this morning because the Minister of Transport has commissioned us to investigate Railco's performance.
Actually, an analyst has already prepared a spreadsheet summarising the results of the recent rail passenger survey, plus 3 years' performance figures. Perhaps this could help?
Yes. But carefully consider the efficiency and effectiveness of the Railco Trust Board in delivering passenger services and value for money. We'll need adequate evidence of any shortcomings.
OK.
And compare the performance of Railco during the period against similar service operators. Make sure it's an objective review that analyses their financial and operational efficiency.
Absolutely, of course.
And factor in the company's performance in areas like health and safety and service provision from a stakeholder perspective.
Will do. By the way, who's this for?
We'll present it to the Railco Trust Board and then submit it with our recommendations to the NAA and government.
Sounds good. Right, I'll get onto it. Jay, hi, it's May. How are you? Good, thanks. The analysis you've prepared on Railco's performance, could you do me a favour and email me the results spreadsheet? Great. Are you able to do that straight away? Brilliant. All right, thanks, Jay. Bye. Oh, that was quick.
Hello, May. Good to see you. I wondered how the performance analysis was going.
The report's well on its way.
Okay, good. But the main reason for wanting to speak to you today is because With further investigation, the focus of the audit has moved to Railco's governance, internal controls, and how effectively they've been designed and implemented.
I see.
Yeah, it seems the CEO, John Rose, has not been leading the organisation as effectively as he should.
What's the evidence for this?
Well, the minutes from their recent board meeting are quite revealing. I'll email them through to you. You'll see they indicate issues with his leadership style and priorities, specifically with governance, internal controls, and how they've been applied. It seems John Rose has some questions to answer.
Right, that's interesting. I'll review the minutes and draft a letter.
Please address it to the chairman of the Trust Board, and I'll send it along with your report on the analysis of their performance.
No problem. Is there anything else you'd like me to focus on or include?
Yes, please. Also review the effectiveness of the internal controls using evidence from the minutes. The question is the CEO of Railco failing in his fiduciary duties to the trustees?
I'm on it. I'll get a letter to you as soon as possible.
Right. Thanks very much, May.
May now has all she needs to undertake her assignment for Alex. This assignment is taken from Task 2 of the Strategic Business Leader Specimen 2 exam. Part A. Prepare a report for the Railco Trust Board that evaluates the implications of the findings of the passenger survey and their performance over the last 3 years. Part B. Draft a letter to the chairman of the Railco Trust Board, which reviews the effectiveness of the internal controls at Railco. To learn more about Strategic Business Leader and to follow up on how well May did in completing her assignment, read the answers to Task 2 of Specimen 2 on our website at accaglobal.com/thefuture.
Analysis is one of the key professional skills on which you'll be tested in your exam. Analysis means logically investigating and processing information to respond to a question or request, or to meet a stated objective. To demonstrate effective analysis, you need to be able to compare information, explain why a certain piece of information is important, and explain the implications of the information. For example, in the exam, you may be asked to prepare a report to the board that reviews the performance of a company over the past 3 years. Let's say you are provided with management accounts and minutes of board meetings for the past 3 years, annual customer survey results, and a recently published industry research report. How would you use the information provided to review company performance whilst demonstrating sound analysis skills? Let's follow a logical approach. Firstly, the management accounts are provided for a reason. Use the numbers to calculate ratios and other financial performance measures. What do the results show? Use the board minutes to help you discuss the financial performance data, providing comments and possible explanations. Next, what do the results of the customer survey suggest? Are customers happy or are they dissatisfied? Is there a risk that the company will lose customers in the future? And finally, what about the external performance of the business? Use the recently published industry report to compare the company performance against industry-wide data. What does it show? Is the company performing well in comparison to its competitors? It's vital to use all the information available to you to ensure you are able to give a well-rounded assessment of company performance in your report to the board. Ensure you allocate sufficient time to review each exhibit. In the exam, when you are required to demonstrate analysis, ask yourself 3 questions. What information is available? Use numerical information to perform calculations to support your analysis. How does the information compare? From one year to another, or to competing business or industry average? What does the information mean? Consider the impact it will have on the business.
A professional accountant must possess a range of professional skills, and you must demonstrate these in your exam. These skills include commercial acumen, which basically means you should make commercially sound decisions when resolving issues and exploiting opportunities. As part of this, you must show awareness of the external environment in which an organization operates. To show commercial acumen, you should demonstrate a combination of business awareness, effective judgment, and insight. In your exam, you may be asked to make recommendations to an audit committee of safeguards that could be implemented to reduce fraud levels at a rail company. To demonstrate commercial acumen, you must give a variety of recommendations that deal with the issue in different ways. Then, focusing on the individual recommendations themselves, consider these 2 alternatives to manage the risk that customers travel without paying for their journey. Firstly, the rail company could install ticket barriers at all major stations, or alternatively, the company could recruit a large number of ticket inspectors that will check every passenger's ticket. Which recommendation shows the best commercial acumen? Well, the ongoing staffing cost and potential delays and disruption caused by manual checking of tickets mean that this is probably not a practical long-term solution. Installation of ticket barriers is the better option. Finally, for this example, in order to maximize your professional skills mark, ensure you justify your recommendations demonstrating insight where possible. So, when recommending installation of ticket barriers, you could suggest that this would be subject to a cost-benefit analysis, which would include the time saving of automated barriers compared to manual ticket checking. Demonstrating commercial acumen is something that you will do as you answer the detailed requirements and will not be a separate section in your answer. To maximize your commercial acumen marks, consider the following 3 points. Focus on a variety of matters which will be affected by the issue in the question. Focus on relevant areas only, otherwise it will waste time and make you appear unprofessional. Finally, make sure any recommendations are feasible and always try to consider people as well as numbers. It's people that achieve the numbers. Communication in the workplace is about being able to speak to different stakeholders. They could be your manager, someone who works for you, a client, a supplier, or one of your colleagues. When having a conversation, we would adapt the way we speak according to who that person is. Similarly, if we needed to send an email to someone or draft a memo to staff, we would always think about the audience when drafting the communication. We would think about the tone, the language, the level of detail, etc. Communication requires you to inform your intended audience in a clear and persuasive manner through the appropriate medium while being sensitive to their needs. In order to express yourself convincingly and show credibility, you must have a good understanding of what your audience will regard as important, what concerns they need to address, and the level of understanding the audience has, both of technical issues and of the current situation. You will be expected to produce material in a variety of formats, such as reports, memos, emails, and presentation slides, and will need to know good practice for each. The main response formats can be found in an article on effective communication on the ACCA website. In your exam, you may be asked to do a slide presentation, including relevant bullet points and supporting notes, to your company's board, highlighting the key benefits of using big data analytics for your company. The first step in structuring your answer is to identify and apply the appropriate presentation format. In this case, you will need to draw up a slide template with a clear header, followed by a bullet list and a separate section for accompanying notes. As you are addressing the company's board, you can assume that they have an adequate understanding of the business and its current needs, so the slides do not need to focus on background or definitions. This audience should be addressed using a respectful business tone. Once you have established your presentation format, you should then list the key benefits of big data analytics on the slide in short bullet points in order of priority and logic. Use the notes section to then elaborate and explain why the points on the bullet list are regarded as important benefits. Remember to present your answers in a professional manner, making points logically and progressively, avoiding repetition, as well as generally being clear, factual, and concise. In your exam, when you are required to demonstrate communication skills, ask yourself 3 questions. What is the required medium of delivery, and what template should I use to present my answer in the most professional format? What is my audience's level of understanding, and how much information do they need? And finally, have you made your points in a logical and progressive order?
Effective evaluation is a required skill of a professional accountant, both in the real world and in your exam. It can be demonstrated across 3 areas: by assessing and using professional judgments when considering issues or problems facing the organisation in the exam scenario, estimating trends and making reasoned forecasts of the implications of potential decisions available to the organisation, appraising facts, opinions and findings objectively with a view to balancing the costs, risks, benefits and opportunities before recommending solutions or decisions. In your exam, you may be asked by the Board of Directors to write a business case, which evaluates a potential significant investment in a new IT system. You should start by assessing the current situation and the potential need for the new system. For example, is there evidence of problems with the current system which may be reducing the quality of service provided to customers? This should lead on to discussing the resulting benefits of a new system. For instance, a better experience for customers, leading on to improved financial performance. Wherever possible, you should estimate or forecast the actual impact on areas such as revenue and profitability. In order to present a balanced argument, you need to consider any downsides to the investment. This may include risks associated with financing the venture, so you could appraise the accessibility and cost of finance relative to the current status of the organisation. Finally, your business case would make a recommendation to the board on whether to proceed with the investment in the new IT system or not. Remember, you will score marks for a sensible recommendation as long as it's supported by your arguments. So, the best ways to give your overall answer a strong structure and to demonstrate the skill of evaluation are to create a balanced argument. Use headings such as advantages and disadvantages, or benefits and risks to make sure you cover both sides of the issue. Create a broad argument. Just using information or ideas from one area isn't enough. Consider financial and non-financial issues across different relevant requirements. Conclude or recommend. As we saw in our example, you are likely to be asked to evaluate a proposal, and the audience want to know whether they should go ahead. Tell them your opinion, and back this up by summarising the key advantage or disadvantage, or benefit or risk.
As in the real world, during your exam, you'll face a substantial amount of information in various forms. Can you be sure that the information is correct, truthful, or complete? You can't. That's why you need to be skeptical. Skepticism is crucial in the world of accountancy and is one of the key professional skills on which you'll be tested. To demonstrate effective skepticism, you should show a combination of probing, questioning, and challenging. In your exam, you may be required to review and comment on information given by a finance director at a monthly board meeting. Don't simply accept everything that the finance director has said. Is there evidence that supports or conflicts with the views of the finance director? If the board meeting minutes claimed that the audited annual accounts show an increased profit of 52% to 120 million due to a cost control initiative led by the finance director, what would be the most appropriate of these three elements to challenge? Well, the audited accounts have been reviewed by an independent third party, which provides sound evidence of the validity of the numbers. Therefore, it would be the reason given by the finance director for the profit growth that would be the most appropriate element to challenge within your answer. Moving on, how would you then question the finance director's reasoning? Would you accuse the finance director of bias and demand evidence to back up their claim? Clearly not. However, it would be appropriate to request further details from the finance director that support his explanation within your answer. This would be an acceptable example of professional behaviour. Professional accountants should be able to challenge views given at all levels within the business. Remember, we don't assume that everything is wrong or that everyone is lying to us, but also don't take everything at face value. In your exam, when you're required to demonstrate skepticism, ask yourself 3 questions. Is there sufficient evidence to support the claims being made? If not, what further evidence is needed to verify or challenge those claims? When you challenge, have you done so in a professional and courteous way?